What's going on, everybody? It's your girl, Kenny. As always, welcome on Unfiltered Frustration.
Episode number 7.
Yes, sir.
It's your boy Emil Lucas.
It's your boy B. What's going on, everybody?
Yo. What's going on, everybody? How y'all weekend?
Good. Can't complain. Hung out, chilled. Took it easy, really.
Okay. What about you?
Same. Relax.
My weekend was pretty chill. Weather was shitty. But, nothing crazy. Had a birthday party, but that was cool. Other than that, same old.
Yeah.
Word up.
What's going on? What we getting into?
I don't know, but before we start,
Before we start,
yeah.
we had
Yeah,
3
hold up.
episodes out. I need you guys to check it out, like,
Yes,
comment,
sir.
subscribe, and hit the bell button.
Please,
Unfiltered Frustration.
man. This is how
Yes.
we grow. We got to grow, man. We get better when you comment and subscribe and
Yes.
share it, man. Don't be scared to comment and let us know real feedback.
Yes.
This is how we going to grow to get better.
Honest feedback. We can take it.
Tell us what it is.
And you can suggest comments as well.
Chime in.
But yeah, man. Build with us, grow with us, unfiltered frustration. If you got some frustration, let it out. This is the place to let that shit out.
If you
man.
want us some questions you want us to address, drop it in the comments.
Yep.
Yes, sir. We respond back.
Yes.
But yeah, let's get into.
Right. Yes, I have a question. Let's get into it.
Let's go. What's up?
So I would like to know, how do guys, what do they experience during the pregnancy as well, while the woman is pregnant? Mentally,
Physically, emotionally.
yeah, physically, yes. What are the things y'all take on? B, you want to start?
What do we take on? I feel like we take on probably not as much as the woman, but I feel like we definitely take on some things that go unnoticed. Like, some men get sick. I know I have. Mood swings. Those are something I feel like men have to deal with. And have to have to kind of just brush it under the rug and chalk it to the game sometimes. I feel like appetites. What's the word I'm looking for? Cravings and stuff. Weird cravings at different times, and being the one that have to go run to the store if you ain't got it or whatever because they can't live without it at that moment.
Man, get to the shit, man. We go through a lot of shit, man.
I was giving a few.
That these women don't care about. We damn near in the pregnancy with y'all. It's just we don't hold the baby for real. A lot of times, like he was saying, we go through the cravings. Sometimes some people throw up. But ultimately, I feel like most men don't even get credit for anything that they do within the pregnancy. It's more like, take care of me, this, that, and the third. But mentally, it's like, you're draining me. I have to go to work and provide for everybody. And I have to deal with you nagging, your feet hurt, and this, that, and the third. And it's warranted. But it's a lot of things that men go through on a day-to-day for those 9 months that mentally is draining. And they always say that mental stress is worse than physical stress. And I think that a lot of people don't even really take into consideration that those things exist, that mentally men break down during those times of women not really understanding because they're just thinking about it like, well, I have the baby and the baby's kicking and I'm annoyed. So now the only person I can annoy is you. And it's like, I still got the weight of the world on me and still have to make sure that you and the baby's good and run around town with my head cut off because you hungry and craving this. But I'm craving it too. That's why a lot of men get
you out
big.
in the process.
Right. And got to hold your tongue, like you said, trying to not stress you out. So it's like, I got to deal with all of these things, and you got the free will to do kind of any and everything. Oh, don't let her pick anything up. Oh, don't let her do this. Don't let her stand on her feet too long. Let her soak. Do this, do that. It's like, dang, when do I take the time to break?
Yeah, that's for sure. That's true. And you know what I'm saying, at a certain point, you know what I mean, sexually, like that stops at a point during a pregnancy. So then you have to deal with that as well. You know what I'm saying? Bing bong. Sometimes you have to deal with that as well, and that's stressful too because you gotta, you know what I mean? You be one that you gotta get your rocks off, but you have to also understand that it's, you know what I'm saying, she can't take that right now.
It's
Whatever.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable for her at the moment, but then it's also not getting that, but then having to deal with the other things too become stressful on you, and then trying not to add stress on her. You don't even talk about it or want to bring it up because that's going to add stress. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I feel like it's mentally draining, definitely, for sure. And I feel like that goes under the rug. It's not really talked about a lot. It's just looked at as like, oh, to me, it's looked at as like, you just got, that's something you got to deal with. And it's just like, well, I feel like it shouldn't be that way. I ain't gonna say I shouldn't have to, but it shouldn't be that way. It should be a medium with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It should be some recognition for what some of the guys do go through with that.
Not to mention, for shout out to the guys who are going through it versus the guys who aren't going through it. It's like that's not even looked at either, because the motto is always, oh, men bail out and they don't deal with it and men are not around. And it's like, for the men who are around, it's like we don't even get no real merit. It's like, yo, I'm willing to go through all of this with you. And I'm not even going to say some situations, some women have real problems where they can't hold the kid, or they can't walk, or whatever rare diseases that are out there for women that happen during pregnancy. And with all of that, I'm the one that's going through all of that with you. Not saying that the physical don't hurt or bother you, but it's like, oh, you can't walk? Now I got to pick you up. You crying? I got to deal with it. You hungry? I got to make sure you eat. This, that, and the third, you need to move around. I got to deal with it. And it's like, I don't think that people look at what those things do to men. And it's just more like, oh, well, I'm going through it, so you should be able, you got the easier job. And it's like, you can't tell me my job is easier because you're not dealing with it. And I'm not trying to change the topic, but it's like, if you have an autistic kid, like, we don't know how that autistic kid is taking it day to day, but the parent has to go through a lot just to maintain or make sure that their child is having the best life experience that they could possibly have. And it's like, that is the same analogy as a man with a woman being pregnant. And I ain't saying that they're in that same rim, but it's just like the same concept as far as like, I have to be the person to make sure that you're able to have the best experience that you can have while you're pregnant, so that you don't stress or have miscarriage or anything of that nature. And it's like, with that, I still have to deal with other things throughout the world too, as far as like going to work, making sure the bills are paid, making sure this and this happens, making sure you are at the best position that you are. But it's like, when do I have my time to do that? And then once you give the baby, it's like, I got to go through another phase of postpartum.
6 weeks.
You know what I'm saying? And then I can't really hit the skins.
6 weeks. Unless you want to go through that same process he just elaborated on again for 9 months.
Might as well get them all out the way. Shout out to the ones who do it.
Yeah.
But
Crazy.
It's definitely a topic that needs to be touched on, but it's a lot of things that I think men don't understand about the women experience either. But I just think that
we both going through something.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So I just think, like you saying, I know, men experience things, but it's just good for y'all to just elaborate and go into that, about exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something, like you saying, that's touched on. We really cater to the woman.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, I could go on and on why things being touched on as far as for the women and not for the men.
But it's women out there that, do both, working as well and still doing it by themselves. So it's a lot. I get it.
Nah, for sure. And that's...
'Cause you're not the only one bringing in the money. I'm pretty sure.
And I think that's where the conversation should be, is like, for the women who are dealing with it by themselves, it's like, how hard it was to do it by yourself, so you should honor and cherish the men who are doing it with someone else, because you had that experience to know what it felt like to do it by yourself and how hard it was. And it's like,
oh, we do though, definitely. I love to see we love to see like a man with a child.
Yeah, that's true.
It's dope. I just think it's a lot. Pregnancy in general for both parties is a lot, but I don't think, like you saying, no one really look at it from that standpoint. Like, oh, what men really experience.
Mm-hmm.
So it's dope that we got the platform to talk for the men.
Get some of that frustration out for these grown ass men.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? But I mean,
Cause I know women that work until the day before the baby came. Like the pregnancy was a breeze. There's not, yes, problems with the pregnancy, but some women have, a breeze in the pregnancy.
That's also true. That's also true.
Or don't really have the cravings, or the female don't go through nothing. The male.
But I personally feel like, and I could be wrong, I feel like even with those pregnancies that women do have that are a breeze or easy, I feel like as a man, if the man is actively there, I feel like as a man, he's naturally going to want to make sure and still take those precautions to make sure that she's good and in every good space that she could possibly be in. Even if she's saying that she's in a good space, he's still going to take those steps forward to make sure that everything is right.
Of course.
So even if she's going through a good situation, I still feel like there's still mental errors there for the guy to go through, where it's just like, all right, I'm gonna do it because I love my family, but she's telling me she's good, but I'm still gonna go the extra mile, and
which
it's
is
still
dope, and I'm pretty
stressful.
sure that is acknowledged. Probably we would like to hear it more often, but people look at that and acknowledge that and appreciative of, okay, you've been with me since day one and you held it down.
So stop nagging. That'll show your appreciation.
Oh my goodness.
Nah, but I think for me, my frustration is just like, I just want to see it in a bigger light. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand the behind the scenes or in the closet appreciations, and I mean that in no disrespect. I mean that in the sense of like, yeah, you may have a few female who does it to their spouse or whoever, like between them, but on a bigger platform, I would rather, that be something that's spoke about, that's just on the mainstream of, because it's a real thing. I mean, it really is a real thing. Like a lot of things are, but I just feel like,
it should be touched on more.
They try to say men are men and then try to spin a block and be like,
y'all do get off easy, even at the baby is here. Y'all have that freedom to just get up and go and continue life and do what y'all see fit to do. Nothing really stops for you guys. You still could play basketball, still could play the video game, go work. As now you really gotta put it in on the clock with getting this paycheck to provide for your family. So it's like, okay, where do you find this balance? Because we are both parents.
I mean, but that's a give and take. That's the sacrifice between both parents as far as...
Right, but then it shifts completely once the child is here. Like, yes, we both going through something, and yes, acknowledge that the man is going through something as well, but once that baby get here, it's all on the mother.
You say that in the sense of
is
what?
That like, is that because that's how the dude's making it, or is that because the woman wants it to be that way?
I don't think a woman want it to be that way. I'm pretty
not
sure
in the sense of like on purpose, but like them wanting to be that way because they that attachment they have to the kid, they get into a protective state of them. Some women have kids and they don't even want the dad touching the baby. Like there's instances where they don't want nobody coming around until they're like a certain age or things like that. So it's like
with any baby, because of the baby is so
but because of that, and then like the dude is out in the world and stuff like that. Like it shouldn't be like when I used to come home when my kids was River a little before I even wanted to touch them. I personally wanted to take a shower. You know what I'm saying? But there are women out there that don't don't even want them to touch it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
like
crazy.
I've seen like documentaries on stuff like that, and that's crazy. The doctor that was doing the documentary called it something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something that she was dealing with. But I was using that to basically say, like, do you think that that's because the woman wants
That
this is our first time.
time.
Yeah, like y'all held them for 9 months or whatever, this and the third. So once they come out, you want that, like you said, bonding time. You want to hold them. You want to do everything for them. You want to, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I meant by like, do you think that that's on purpose, or do you think that the dude is just like, oh, it's on the mother now?
I feel like the dude, not in all cases, not in all cases, because every case is different. But I feel like the dude probably feel like, okay, I done did my part. I endured all this. Now I could kick back and relax a little bit more, because if we're not looking at the bigger picture here, where y'all do experience something, so y'all experience something and it's not being talked about because we don't know or whatever. We solely focus on the pregnant, woman. So once, all right, you go out of that phase, like, all right, now, whew, let me just regroup real quick. I think, yes, that's natural that a female will want to now have that bounded time, do X, Y, and Z, because it's just come natural. And it's fathers that naturally have that as well, but it's more so females. I'm just saying, let's do this together. Like, y'all, it's like, who gonna change the diaper? Oh, it's time to be fed. Especially, you're tired, you're exhausted, like, your body going through so much. Like, get up and feed the baby or get the baby. You hear the baby crying just like I hear the baby crying. Like, who now? Oh, you going, I hear it, but let me fix sleep. Like, it go hand in hand. I just feel like for the most part, it falls on the woman. Not saying that this is what she wants. Some women, like you saying, make a point, purposely do that, but I don't see that on, like, for it to be the norm. I don't see that as a norm. Like, oh, I had this baby because I couldn't have this baby by myself.
That's
you
true.
helped me have this baby, so pull your part as well.
I do agree with you as far as the man.
Don't just let that solely be, okay, now get to your motherly duties. That's all on you now. No.
I do agree with you as far
Don't
as
go like
saying
that.
the man may feel like that's his time to, release some of his stress. Because now that you have delivered the baby, it's like I don't have to worry about those things anymore. So now I could kind of like kick my feet back. But I do understand what Brandon was saying as far as like I feel like naturally, and I'm not saying all situations,
Right.
but I feel like naturally the woman naturally latches on to the
that back.
child.
Of course.
And with that being, it's just like, all right, well, since you want to latch on to the child and like act like it's just yours for a small, like obviously we know that it's both our kids,
Right.
but I feel like some women do feel like it's her child
her
because
child.
she has the bond with the child from that time that
The
she
9
was
months,
pregnant.
but then that's when you advocate for yourself. Like, this is my baby, and I want my
So-
body
I mean,
time,
that's
my child
easier
as well.
said than done when
So
you're
the
in
guy kind of like allows her to have those moments like, all right, you could change the baby, you could do this, that, and the third, because you are being that stern with it. Some like he was saying, some women don't even want their mothers or his mother to even really see the kids for the first couple months. And
But it's some stuff, because when after the women have a baby, they go through something else, like the postpartum depression or whatever. That is real for some females, or sometimes they don't even know they're going through it, and you have these feelings. You don't want to seek out for help because that's your job. Like, you're supposed to take care of this child, but you don't want to be bothered with that baby. Like, it's things that a female really do go through. Like, now we about to get into the nitty gritty of once the baby is here. It take a total different turn for females, and sometimes you don't even know you're experiencing something. You just know that you don't have a connection with your baby, and you should. So it's different avenues for each woman. And you could, like I'm saying, it's not something that you're talked about or you're taught.
do you, before you go too farther in your what you want to say, is that something that y'all taught, that y'all supposed to have a natural relationship from start? Because because now I'm just gonna throw another twist in here. It's like, all right, we're both parents. I don't feel like most men feel like naturally I just have an instant relationship with my child. I feel like I have to grow to have that relationship.
build it.
So it's like, I feel like y'all take the narrative like, oh, this child has been in me for 9 months. So once she or he comes out, we already
know
connected.
who I am.
We're
No, not
bonded.
in all cases.
And then if you don't
so
feel
that's what I'm
that, I
saying.
feel like it's just like, all right, well, something here is going on
It's
wrong.
wrong, right? But because you don't see that, like I'm saying, that go back to you're not taught. I think the ideal is, okay, you carry this baby for 9 months, and the mom automatically is, have this special bond with the child. That baby, the mother could have been disconnected the whole pregnancy.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I feel like
So-
y'all just naturally say that because it's like, oh, I've been feeling you kicking me, moving around, blah, blah, blah. But it's like
Some
the
people
baby's
don't like
just
that.
naturally doing it
What they
without
supposed
without
to
the
do.
conscience of like, oh, me and
But
my
because
mom
we
are
wasn't
bonding.
taught, right? But because we're not taught that the steps, because we're not taught these steps, it's a lot of stuff. Because you only see, oh, I have a baby. Oh, the mother is doing everything. The mother has to handle the baby. Oh, the mother. It's like, okay, where the father at? And then that's what you see, because it's a lot of broken homes. So
For sure.
that's what they seeing. So they going off of what they see. So I don't even think it. Yeah, I would say I don't even think it's something to. It's just what I observe around me that I'm going to I'm going to gravitate to or do. So when I'm in a situation and I know something is off, I know this is not feeling right. But who do I talk to? What do I say? Because in reality, it's just supposed to come natural. It don't come natural all the time. It start even with carrying the baby. It's not always like that. It's not always, oh, my baby kicking. Some people can't stand that. Oh my goodness, my body's changing. I'm going through this. I'm going through that. It's not no connection there. Like it's the same thing for some women.
But that's
just how y'all have to grow to.
But that's
it's
what
the
I'm
same thing for a
initially
woman.
saying, because if you could tell me that, and I mean, Brandon, you could piggyback if you want, but if you could sit here and tell me that women can say that
new for
I
both.
hate that the baby's doing it because look what it's doing to my body, and then in the next motion you're saying, oh, the baby's kicking and I'm getting a connection there. That's to tell me that that person is just choosing to make a connection there or use that as their reason of having a connection. But for me, it's like I could do the same thing when I touch your stomach. I was like, oh, well, I feel her. When I speak to her and she moves, oh, yeah, she's recognizing my voice. We're connected. And it's just like, I'm putting that in my head to make it seem like that's what's going on. But in reality, when that baby comes out, yeah, she may realize my voice because she's heard it throughout the time. But that don't mean we're connected.
Still don't know you.
Don't know neither.
From day one to whenever is when you start to build that connection where it's like, all right, well, they know my voice, but now we're going to build on a different level. And I feel like when women...
For the male.
Okay. But I feel like it's probably the same way both ways. It's just y'all make it seem like since y'all connected through a tube,
Some people make it seem that way because this is not taught.
Well,
what
yeah,
I heard
some
is
feel
always,
like
have a
it's a
family,
connection.
have a baby. They don't tell you all like the back door, the behind the scene. They just say, go ahead, you in love, all right, go have a baby. What? How that work? Help me out. How that work? You want me to have a baby? And then what? They don't tell you about the expenses. They don't tell you about how you have to now blend the families. It's a lot because I truly believe it's more than just be careful who you have a baby with. It's more to it. You have to do a thorough background check with that family as well. I think it go hand in hand. Because you could probably have a stand-up guy and he good and the family ain't all that. Or she could be, decent and the family not all that. Or vice versa. Like, well, he got lost along the way or she did, but the family is well put together or they tap in and it's a real village. Because it's a village. It takes a village to raise a child. But that's going off on another. That could be a couple of episodes with that one.
Yeah, but all of that you just said, I feel like that's what builds the chemistry with the child. Not really like, oh, I've been in your stomach for 9 months and now I automatically know that you're my mom. Or, oh, mommy, we are. It's still I think it's still time that needs to be put in there. And then
Absolutely,
when the women who do think that the connection is there, they tend to feel like, oh, I'm going through postpartum because me and my child don't have a connection. It's just like, well, you have to build and put time in for that connection to kind of be there. It just doesn't happen because you're delivering a child.
No, your emotions are all over the place.
But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
We'll try and acknowledge our men more, the ones that are there and enduring the same thing that the woman is. Not the same, slightly.
Dope.
Yeah, that's all I can say to that. I think that's a real thing.
Shout out to Chris, our engineer.
Yeah.
That's him in the background if you ain't hear him. But yeah, what else is that kind of that we kind of like touch bases on how both of us feel, or you
Like,
over
I feel
there?
like y'all spoke on.
You good over there, B?
Be happy
Look like
with
you
me.
dying over there a little bit.
It's hot.
Ooh, but we good. Hanging in there.
Get that
So,
boy
like, since
some
we
ice.
on the baby subject, how does this tie into? Well, B, ask that question. What's the question we was talking about? Since we're on the baby topic, I feel like
why
it'll
is it
tie
that
in.
why is it that like why is it that women get mad when dudes ask for DNA tests when they have nothing to hide? Like if there's nothing for you to hide and a guy asks for a DNA test, like why do you get mad initially? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that is? From a female standpoint. Because go ahead.
I in general, I think the female feel the lack of trust. Like, oh, you don't trust me? Oh, what I'm saying to you isn't good enough. Like, I only been with you. Because I kind of, I agree with you on that one. Because females, you know, sometimes the timing where you conceive it could be off. And if you're single or you're dating a few people and you think, well, the last person I've been with, that's the father for sure. You really don't know sometimes or whatever. So I feel like it shouldn't be a problem. I think it's only a problem for the females that know and they don't want the truth to come out because they feel like you the father they want for their child.
Yeah, but that's not right though.
It's not right.
That's not cool at all.
But I'm just saying, I don't know. I really
But because
don't know.
that's not right is why what I'm saying is like a dude, you're never gonna know 100% at first. It like you know what I'm saying. A girl tell you, oh yeah, I'm pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's by you. You're not. You can. I mean, your perception could be is just y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and be happy, not knowing anything of what she's doing when she's not with you. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? So and she could be just going off of. Okay, I had sex with this dude, and then like I had it after him, so it got to be his. You know what I'm saying? And she's just or trying to pick out of the two which one she think is better to have a baby with, and put it on that person.
I think
so then
the
when he
question-
asks that question, now you good. When he asks that question, and you try to take it as like, oh, what you don't trust me, and it's like,
I think
like you can say that, and then what if I be like, yeah, I do trust you. It's just you know what I'm saying. I just want to make sure. It's like. Oh, well, if you trust me, then we don't need to do it. And it's like,
again,
women could use that to manipulate a dude.
Again,
you know
I feel like those for women, because then they would have to really sit down and look at the truth and really face what they've been doing. You feel what I'm saying? So some people probably don't want to do that. Like, well, I said it's you and I know it's you. And some people really be serious, like, no, you the father, and it'd be devastating for that mother too, or that person too, because they really thought like you was the person. They exit out or a couple of weeks ago that.
And me personally, I feel like it shouldn't be
somebody.
It should never be.
So what happens when you we go ahead and do it, and you are the father? Then what?
Well,
I mean,
you lied.
That's crazy.
That's not my kid, and. If I have, it depends on how
I said
far.
You are the father. I said, what happens when we
am
go
the
ahead
father?
and we take the test and you
heard that
are the
wrong.
father? Then what?
And then I am the father. Then it's okay.
I had to go through all of that.
All of what though? It's for my
Females.
sanity. It's not for you. But because I'm asking for something for me, it shouldn't.
It's
that
the lack in trust. That's how it goes back to the trust thing. Then
for you though, for the woman, like it goes back to trusting. You can feel that way all you want, but if I'm asking for that. For my own sanity, and you know that I'm the father, go ahead.
But most
it should
of the,
be
most of the
simply
time,
go
guys
ahead.
asking that because they not ready. And then once you get the results, like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm in the father. Then what? Then you have another excuse.
No, I want to make sure. Like I feel like it's simply. I mean, I'm a guy. Like I know what these thoughts are.
Speak
like
on the behalf of you women, but
I feel
I
you.
agree with them.
But like it's just like if
I agree with them.
if that goes if that's for my sanity, and I'm asking you to do this to help my sanity, because I can't. I'm human. Thoughts run through my head. You know what I'm saying?
So definitely have this as a conversation.
But that's
like,
what I'm saying.
Hey,
if
you was to get, even though I know you dealing with me, just from for me to have a clear mind, if we was to be in this situation, just know I want a DNA test. Say that up front. Don't wait until, so I can already know, like, all right, it's a possibility. It's like it's coming left field with it then.
No, because you could feel that way prior to it, have that conversation, and then say a dude could feel that way once he gets into the relationship and then find out he's pregnant, but already had pre-thoughts.
She's pregnant. Mm-hmm.
Or she's pregnant, and or he already has thoughts of, oh, like, is she being loyal with me? And then you come up talking about you pregnant.
That stem from because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. That's how that.
I mean, not necessarily, and that's again coming from a woman's standpoint. If a dude is saying this and he's saying that it's coming, oh, this is for my sanity. I've been having these thoughts about whether, you know what I'm saying, what's going on with us, and then you come up pregnant. I need to, for my own sanity, I need this to be done. And if you know for a fact that I'm the father, that shit, okay, cool. If it's gonna help you clear your mind, cool. It should be nothing less of that response from a woman when a dude asks that. Mm-hmm. Now, if you know that you're being out here being faulty and shit, and you out here just living, you know what I'm saying, living how you living, of course,
so you think it should just be for all females?
I think that, you know what I'm saying.
You think they should make that a law?
Yeah, me and my girl had this conversation, like, because she feels the same way on this. It's like they should make it a law. Whereas, like, once you're at the hospital and you're having a baby, it should be a DNA test from the rip before anybody signs that document. So if I come in there and I be like, yo, I'm the dad, I want to sign a document, they should make me take a DNA test. Even if I'm saying, and me and her saying we the father, they should make me take a DNA test. Because there's situations out here where kids be 10 years old and they finding out at that point that kid, like, what you mean? You know what I'm saying? And sometimes dudes don't say nothing going into it. They trust in their girl. So they just be like, oh, nah. They just be happy to, you know what I'm saying? Oh, we pregnant? Dude, sometimes the dudes be happy than a woman. Yo, I'm happy. And then they get the kid, and then they get second thoughts. Like the kid get about 4 or 5 years old, start seeing their features and be like, yo,
who the hell is that?
Yeah, like that. You start looking at your baby pictures, but then again, you so in love and you just so happy. At that point, you done develop a relationship with the kid, so you don't want to tear that up. So you just go along with it, and then 5 more years go by. The baby 10, and some news come out that's not even your kid. And then
I feel like it'd be certain things. That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, I
get
where you're coming
your
from.
Biggest
that.
critic.
Or somebody, somebody.
But I feel like the baby don't necessarily. Yes, that's the problem.
Ray.
That'd be my problem. Like, that's what I'm saying. Had this conversation so I could know. Oh, okay, this is, since it's not the law, it's not put in place. I think this is a conversation the person should have. Vice versa. So
but I didn't feel that way when I first.
Yeah, if I didn't feel that way, like simply, like I didn't know I was gonna have a kid with you when I first met you.
You can't say because the baby could look like anybody in the family.
I don't think a man is thinking that far into it. Like
sometimes kids just happen.
When I first met you, we wasn't talking about kids, and you just came out of nowhere and you got pregnant.
But this is how you feel in general, right?
Nah.
You feel like that the
dude may not know that y'all gonna have a kid though.
Yeah. That thought comes up when
y'all might have been
get that
messing
call
around and then you ended up pregnant 6 months later. I didn't expect you to get pregnant, but you're pregnant.
I having fun.
But now that you're pregnant, I have kind of thought some things throughout this, like us messing around, that it was a little weird.
They got mutual friends.
But now that it's serious, I want to know for sure that this is my kid, because it is some dudes out here that's paying child support for a kid that's not theirs.
Facts.
That's wild.
But because they signed the birth certificate.
Crazy.
It happens.
For real?
Yeah, once you sign a birth certificate and that kid has your last name. Yeah.
It happens.
If the kid has your last name and you sign that you're the father,
it happens.
That is your child by law.
No, I don't disagree with you. I'm just throwing different scenario out there. I agree.
Nah, facts. I'm just saying it happens. I'm saying that to what he's saying. Yeah, word. That shit crazy.
But I
don't think it should be a problem with the men asking for a DNA test. If like you're saying for clear mind, but I was just trying, help you ladies out.
No, for sure. I mean, it's some girls out there that live foul and use that like, do you don't trust me thing as like a, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, what most dudes gonna be? I mean, there's some straightforward dudes that's gonna be like, no, I don't. But then there's gonna be some dudes that take that and be like, yeah, I ain't trying to argue. Like, yeah, I do, but you know what I'm saying, and try to explain it. And then once you try to explain it, that's when I feel like the more manipulation come on. It's like, oh well, if you love me, then you would trust me. And then from that point, then now that the dude is just like, all right, cool, you got it. And then now he just living with that. And then, like I said, the years later come down, and then you find that out. Yeah, you done found out now. Then when the dude be like, granted, I feel like if you get that type of bond with the kid, you know what I'm saying, as far as that father son don't, you find out. I feel like I don't feel like the dude's wrong in either situation of what he chooses to do at that point, because he was put in a situation he didn't ask to be in. So at that point, I feel like if it's that strong of it, keep the relationship. But that's gonna be hard because that kid has that mother that you just that relationship is broken now. So she might be spiteful and not keep away from you.
Ask for that either.
Yeah, and then you might got some women that realizes that kid had a relationship with you and is mad at it, but still let the kid come see you or you come see the kid and shit like that. It's just, but I feel like it would be up to that guy's. It would be that guy's decision going forward on what if he decided to be like, I'm done with all of this. That's fucked up. Like. Shouldn't nobody be mad at that guy? He was it wasn't fucked up when I was in this situation for X amount of years dealing with this unknowingly. I'm thinking this is my life, and then now this whole time my whole life was a lie. That's crazy.
You spend a lot of money on somebody else's kid.
You out here going to work, hurt, sick, this, that, and the third to make ends meet for a kid that you told me was mine. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I think the deeper part about it is just more like, when a guy is a father, is like, I would do anything to protect my child, and now that this isn't my child, I can't because we may not have the same blood type. We may not have the same. A lot of things may not be corresponding together. So it's like
he may need me, and
he may need me, and I can't be there for him because I'm not his father. But give me the option to want to be there or not.
But do it off of those reasons. I think my thing is do it off. If that's your question, stand your ground on it. But do it because of that. Don't do it because you cheating and you may think she cheating or I'm not ready. It's certain because that's the only time that question come up. Sometimes is when they know they playing out here too. Like that's how that go. That's like if a guy is cheating and he know he doing wrong, he come home like he all on the girl because he know what he doing is not right, and she could be A1. So
it's such a weird conversation.
It is. It's difficult.
I feel like that happens, but that's
that's
speaking to a specific group of people. I feel like the people that are just out here, and I feel like everyone knows those types of people that are out here that will betray to. But I feel like in general, it's more dudes getting caught into that, believing the woman that they love, that this is my kid, more than a dude doing that.
A dude doing what?
Just going off of what he doing. He not being a stand up guy.
Like he out here doing shit, so you trying to put that on her type shit.
I feel like it is. That's probably 50-50.
He's like projecting. He's projecting his shit.
Yeah, on her.
Yeah.
Right. And that,
I mean, I feel like that's not true though.
I feel like
it's
that
50-50.
happens, but like I don't
think it's like a half, like not half and half, maybe like 30-70.
Yeah, I could go with that.
I'll go with, that's
right?
I'm saying I just feel like it's more that get caught into that web of finding out that is. I feel like if not every family, every other family in the world has somebody in their family that happened to. Or been put in that situation. Like there's not too many people that I know that didn't happen to. You know what I'm saying? Or they know somebody that, like, whether it's an aunt or cousin or somebody, or even if it's not a family member, they know somebody that happened to.
And shout out to the ones if it did happen to you and you stick around. That's dope, because that child is innocent either way. Like, that's messed up to the child.
You saying the dudes stick around?
Yeah, like some dudes, they stand up guys, like they still come around, get them. Or if I have a child with you and you already have kids and they take on that responsibility of like being that male figure for all of the kids, but he only got one by you, I think that's dope.
You just know that the mother's shitty.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's definitely stand up to do that, but I don't think to say that somebody that chooses to be like, washes their hands with the situation is not a stand up guy. because he was standing up the whole
I
time.
didn't say he wasn't.
No,
I'm
I'm
just
not.
saying, shout out to the
I'm
ones
not saying
that
that
do
you
it.
said that. I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
saying in general. Like I'm just saying that I don't think that that's the case for guys that just decides to wash their hands.
No,
of the
it's too
situation.
much. I think it would be too much.
Yeah, that's why I said it would
to
just
handle.
originally. I was like, I feel like it's up to the dude if he sticks
Mm-hmm.
around. You know what I'm saying? Good, like you know what I'm saying. Like you said, I agree with that. It's like it ain't got nothing to do with the kid. So you sticking around, not in a relationship, but sticking around for the kid. You know what I'm saying? Being there for them when they need it. You know what I'm saying? When the kid needs it or whatever. Cool. You know what I'm saying? But if the guy just be like,
So do
I'm done.
So do you cut everything off once you find out the news? Like y'all done?
Yeah.
It's a dead end now.
For
you
me.
and the woman.
Once
Or-
you find out, so say that happened, y'all got 10 years in, 15 years in, y'all married, doing good, and
You find out
whatever
that's not
happened,
your
you
kid.
find out that that's not your child. Is everything over? Is everything over?
It depends on my
this a deal
relationship
breaker,
with the
or are you
kid.
able to?
It depends on my relationship with the kid.
Not with
But-
that woman no more.
But the woman
That
is
she made a mistake.
old.
Yeah,
she
with
made
the
a mistake,
woman.
or she probably really thought you was like the father.
Nah, because you knew that there was a chance.
You
that
knew
Not
that
all the time.
you had to know that
terrible.
you had to know that
That's
you had sex
terrible.
with somebody within the same timeline.
If a woman doesn't know, like if a woman's put in a situation where they don't know, unless they were raped, you know what I'm saying?
drunk as
Like,
shit.
or yeah, like wild drunk and then got raped, and you was just like you didn't know. Other than situations
be-
like that, that's wild.
So you'll take it better than like I was dealing with you and Paul, and it's a possibility that one
If that's
of
what
y'all could be
happened,
the
yes,
father.
let me put
Let
myself
me-
in that
yeah.
situation. You know what I'm saying? Don't just be
Nah,
like,
15 years later, and that was the case.
that's crazy.
Nah, I couldn't. I wouldn't be able to.
That's
live with that.
crazy.
I mean, I heard some people say I don't know. I didn't know.
No, yeah, I'm just
Nah,
saying
for
that would
sure.
be.
That's like mind blowing.
Yeah, that's crazy to be like,
You
I'm
cheated
pregnant
on
and I don't know who. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I mean, you got some women that's out here living their best
That's
life.
crazy.
They need
I
to slow
could see-
down on living their best life.
That's crazy, yo.
Or they probably thought
That's
like
crazy.
I mean, I
Trojan
understand.
man.
I understand that
That's
if
crazy.
I understand if you having fun,
Got
it's a
condoms out here.
it's a possibility to have. It's not always guaranteed, but I
It's a
understand
better
if you out
guarantee
here.
than not.
I understand if you out here having fun and it never happened to you before, so you probably thinking like, oh, I can't get pregnant. It ain't happened to me. I've been out here free willing.
Nah.
So
Hell no.
it gotta be you.
Nah, you know when you pregnant by you. A dude don't know when he pregnant by him. You feel me? Like I have to go off with somebody else telling me like when I'm having a baby. Oh, you're pregnant. I'm pregnant and it's
A
yours.
dude will remember though.
I mean, he would
Yeah,
remember.
I did smash that.
Yeah, he would
And I
remember.
get released. I think you.
Other than a girl
smashed
lying
that.
or whatever, like
Smash that, yeah.
yeah, other than a girl lying or you know for a fact like
It jumps, so it could be about
yeah,
50 of them.
exactly, exactly. But I'm just saying though, like you still have to. I still have to go off of you. Like I have to get the call and be like, yo, I'm pregnant and it's yours. Other than the girl finding out she pregnant, she knows. You know what I'm saying? She know that baby's hers.
I think that's.
I don't know that baby's
wild,
mine.
Like to
Nah,
really
for
think
sure.
we're in a committed, we're in a relationship.
I'm going
and
off
I'm
your
telling
word.
you that I'm pregnant, and you like, nah, we need a DNA
I,
test.
I do agree that it all depends on the space that you're in with that person.
Yeah.
Like if you got some type of doubt, of course you're gonna ask.
Right.
But I do like the fact that you go to the hospital but I feel like that's too long.
What?
Honestly.
What?
Like before you sign off. Like I feel like I done went through the whole experience with you to think that this is my child, and then I go to the hospital and then I get a DNA test and it's like, nah, this ain't yours.
I mean,
so do
there's
I
probably
leave the
ways of-
hospital?
It's probably. Oh yeah, I'm storming out. I'm storming out too.
Yo,
and I'm gonna take the
fuck
coat and
this shit.
I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I'm flap my coat and everything. I'm out.
I mean, but
But-
if you feel that.
I mean, I feel like there
think
got to be a
whenever
way to do it while
if-
she's
if-
pregnant.
No, you can't.
You could
no,
do
DNA
you
test.
can't
You
do,
could do
you
blood
can
work.
do the DNA test, but if she's not willing to do it, then you would just have to wait.
Yeah, but and I feel like once
And which
you're
most
at the
guys
hospital
do.
giving a baby, it shouldn't be her decision. It should be a law. Like we have to do this. You know what I'm saying? X, Y, and Z. During, it should be up to the woman if she wants to do it
So
until
should it be
later.
a law where it's optional?
The
like,
last
okay,
result is to figure it out.
Should it be a law put in place where it's optional? Like, okay, if you want to do this, or no, it has to be. All
Oh, it has to be done. I think it's fair. I think it should be for everybody. It should be for everybody. I mean, unless there's just like I said, there's those women out there that just don't know, and they go to the hospital by themselves, and nobody signs the birth certificate because no one's there. Obviously, there's no one at the DNA test. But I'm speaking to the ones the guys that are there the whole time, the guys that go there and be there. They be like,
we're going everybody ancestry.
Like, I would like a doctor to pull me and be like, hey, my man, before you leave, you did this DNA test. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here in awe of about to be a dad. I need the doctor to come in here with that clipboard like he do with the bill and be like, hey, we got to do this last thing.
I honestly think some men wouldn't even want to do it.
To know, right? Especially if it's been a struggle with trying to have a child in some cases. I
think some men would probably be like, nah, I'm good. This mine.
Yeah. And they have.
Shout out to them.
And they have. I think it's
because
like that.
If I'm being honest, I would be fooling myself to not think that some dudes would probably kill the woman with that information.
That's crazy.
So wait a minute, hold on.
Like, had this feeling. So you saying like the person had that feeling?
No, I'm saying like
this is some doubt in his mind.
If this 9 months I've been thinking this was mine, and we go to the hospital and I find out that day, I would think there's some men in this world that will lose their mind.
No, because if it's law, you know at the end of the 9 months that this is coming.
Nah, but before
you know this is coming.
In order for it to be law, it would have to be something that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? It would start somewhere. So it would be brand new to everybody.
It'd be a steep curve, man. It would be a real steep curve. There's some wackos out there.
Yes. So I'm saying, like, say if it was the law within 2023. So moving forward, all guys will feel that way. But 9 months, this is my girl. I know I'm gonna have to take a DNA. I know this mine. I know this is what I know, but then the DNA tells me something different.
But you don't know.
No, but I'm saying some guys who do think, who know, like who's really thinking that they know.
Yeah.
So I'm saying when the DNA come, because it's law now, when they get the results and it's not what they knew, I feel like some guys will lose their cool and want to kill the woman.
I can see that.
Dudes killing women for less.
Yes, so that's
my point, to just throw that in the conversation, like, oh, well, I don't think this probably should happen because of that.
I never said it shouldn't happen.
But that's how it sounds to bring that up in the conversation.
I said some dudes probably wouldn't want to take the DNA test. That's what I said.
And I'm saying it should be law. That I don't feel like that, to think that would be the case is, for someone to think that that's going to be the case is crazy. That means that you probably would do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, to sit here and think that, like, oh yeah, if I give this, I feel like I'm helping this dude. That information is helping this dude out from eventually waiting 10 years and that, oh yeah, no, I don't want to find out. And then some information come out 10 years later. At that point, he's probably going to want to pop ahead. Like, I don't understand how that would be. To think that could be the case from there.
Different people out there, and I think
it's crazy people everywhere.
If someone is willing to take another life because somebody don't want to be with them, then I can see someone wanting to take a life because I thought this child was going to be mine. I thought we was going to create a family together, and now I know. This not my baby. I'm just saying, I could see it. I could see where you coming from, because you got people I'm not that into you anymore. I don't love you anymore.
I mean, now that it's being brought up, yes, I can see that now you putting that in my head, I can see how that could be the case. But it's like, when I said that, I'm not thinking in any situation somebody could snap and kill you. Like, we could be sitting here and Chris could be going through something and we don't know, and he just fucking annihilates all of us. We don't know, but we didn't come in here thinking that, oh shit, we can go there and the engineer's probably gonna take us out. Like, that's what I'm saying. It should be a law. Every law is going to be things like that, wackos that's going to manipulate it or find a way to do it anyway.
But it's not put in place. We just saying in general. So we just saying, if that was to be, he said in 2023, if they was to make that a law, I think Chris is crazy. I think it'll take a different direction because it'll be new to everybody. So now you want to have to go to that closet and face them skeletons because your truth is just, you can't hide the truth no more.
But that's what I'm saying, though. With that law being in place, it would eliminate a lot of those things. It would eliminate a lot of dudes going through the pregnancy with the chick, like making him believe that that's the case, and then finding out at the end, they're going to be less likely to lie to that dude or withhold that information, knowing that it's a law that you have to take this DNA test at the end of the pregnancy. So they're going to go into at the beginning, honesty, hey, this might not be yours, but we'll find out in 9 months. I'd rather that conversation than just sitting through it and then you just lying about it.
That's crazy. Either way you put it.
It is, but I'm just saying, like, if
That
I'm in that
is
situation, I would
wild.
rather that.
To even
Tell
wanna
me,
be
you know
in
what I'm
that
saying?
situation.
Yeah, tell me and then allow me to be in that situation on my own. Or I could be like, well, shit, if you feel that way, like, I'll be here, you know what I'm saying? I'll support you throughout the pregnancy and this, that, and the third. But don't, you know what I'm saying? For you to say, don't expect the most out of me if you're going to say that to me, because you just basically told me you cheated while we was together. Or if it's just like a one-night stand that you was out here with multiple dudes, but you telling me I'm the guy. Be honest. Like, just say
the way
you...
the body work is crazy. So I feel like I could believe it's cases where you really thought this person was the father, and it's news to both of y'all. I don't think that's too far off, because
You made yourself believe that shit.
You know you had sex
You
with
made
somebody.
yourself believe that, though. You wanted this guy to be the guy.
nah.
That's crazy for you to even say, nah. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Reading articles and like little videos or movies they be having about this, I think it's possible. Scientific
Every movie is fabricated
is
to draw interest.
experience that they went through. Like, this is the real thing.
Nah.
You could Google it. Google your best friend. Google it. I just
Google
think
what?
in most cases, like, can that be possible? Is it possible that you can have a baby, think this is the person, and in reality is not? I think it's possible.
Hell no.
That's crazy to... If
Kendra,
let's just say
wrap
that
your
is
head
the
around
case.
what you saying.
I don't understand. I can't
You
even-
know you had sex with somebody other than me.
Right.
So the possibility, it's in the air now. You don't know when the doctor give you a due date or when your baby's gonna
Right.
be born.
So
it's
that's
an
what I'm saying.
estimate. It's not an
Right.
actual
I know.
date.
I've been pregnant 3 times.
Yeah,
I
no.
understand
I'm
that.
not saying that you haven't, but I'm saying for even the viewers who may be agreeing with what you're saying, it's an estimate of a date that they're just suggesting is the day that they're happening. So like the time that you got pregnant is faulty of what day that actually happened, because they do say once somebody nuts in you, it takes 4 days or 3 days for the nut to reach the egg or whatever the case may be. So
I'm saying, so if you're not educated on that, right, it's a possibility. If I'm dealing with 2 guys,
yeah. So if you're
and
dealing
you're
with
the
2
last
guys,
person that I had,
if you're dealing with 2
intercourse
guys,
with,
then you should let it be known that there's a possibility that it could be somebody else.
right? Okay, that's
think
understandable.
it's
But I'm
yours,
just saying.
Or what
I
you
said
do
that
is
that should be a conversation,
or-
but I'm saying that person,
or
I
what you
believe
do
that
is you-
person really go off.
you
okay,
go to the
was last
side
person
dude
I
that you was
messed with,
messing
That's
with.
what I'm saying.
why.
To go off of that is what I'm saying is crazy. You can't. That's what I started with. You're telling yourself that to say that this is what I'm going off of instead of the actual reality of the situation that you're laying up with 2 dudes around the same time. So if you come up pregnant and you do that math to back to that estimate he's talking about of when the doctor said that happened, that the baby was
conceived.
the baby was conceived and stuff. Okay, boom. It was July 13th. Okay, I slept with Ray on the 1st, and then I slept with what's her name on the 8th, and oh shit, I don't know who the guy is, but to say like, oh yeah, well if they said the 13th, but the last person that I slept with was on the 8th, even though I had sex on the 1st,
That think like that.
and that's
That's
what I'm
crazy.
saying
That's
is
the
crazy.
problem.
That's what I'm saying is crazy. The fact that there are females that think like that, that's mind blowing to me. That's mind blowing because you know what you was doing. You know what you was doing.
You should at least
That's crazy.
go to the first
That's
dude
crazy.
and get a DNA test, and then if that doesn't
That's
work, then
crazy.
you would know for sure that.
But then tell a dude, if you messing with a chick on the side, just be honest with me. Just tell me. What? There's women out here that do that with babies on the line. Innocent lives on the line that will lie about that. But then you gonna scold me and try to strip me of everything. If we together, try to leave me, take my kids because I had somebody on the side that I'm telling you that I don't care about. That's crazy. But that's
It's crazy either way.
that's
Because then you
crazy.
go out there. It's just a lot. We could go into different
not.
avenues with it because that's crazy too. Yeah, be honest with it because you messing with somebody and it could be a one night stand or it wasn't nothing, but now a baby is in the picture. That's crazy. Now I have to digest. Not only did you cheat on me, but now a baby could be yours. And now I have to explain that to our kids. That's a lot. But hey, we could take different avenues with this situation altogether. You saying be honest with me. Be honest either way.
Okay.
Be honest either way.
Yeah.
Be honest with your situation. Because you got people that's not going to be honest with nothing. So be honest in everything you doing.
Yeah, nah.
I don't really. I agree with be what you're saying as far as being honest, but to compare those two situations as if they're the same is wild to me. Like, that's just wild. It's wild, the stuff that women will sit there and try to compare together to make something sound okay. Like, to justify
neither one
this.
is okay. I'm not justifying neither one.
I understand that, but when I said that, you brought up dudes.
You
Oh,
said,
what if a dude have a baby on the side and then he has a baby and then I got to explain that to my kids? To bring that, to say that, to me, I'm taking that as a comparison to what I'm saying.
That come with the territory of you cheating. If you step out on me, you're not being honest with me so I can know what I'm going to handle.
Yes, ma'am. Because
I can't change that. Then once that's set in stone, I can't change that. We can change. You can remove yourself altogether. This baby isn't yours.
So what you trying to say is, if a guy's not being honest about him having a side chick because of the possibility of him being able to get her pregnant, that's the issue?
It could be an issue too.
Okay.
You don't think so?
Nah, I mean it's an issue all the way around.
I think both is an issue.
But
I think you should just be honest in general. It's no sugarcoating nothing.
For women who are having sex with multiple people and just going off the last person they had sex with, that's crazy. And you should do a better job at figuring
narrowing
out
it
who's
down,
the
or be
parent
honest.
and be honest with both of the men. And don't be selfish because you want one of the guys.
Sure.
You think
to
one
be
of
the
better
father
candidate.
or that.
That's crazy.
He keeps saying that's crazy.
Because that's why a lot of these guys are broken now or going into interracial relationships, because it's just like certain stuff like that is happening.
And even when you saying that, like, some dudes with that giving that information might snap and do something they regret as far as like killing the woman or things like that, but it's not going to be looked at as that. And granted, that is, if a dude does do that, that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Just fucking leave. Just, you know what I'm saying? Be done with it and bounce. But I'm just saying, though, no one's going to look at it as like, damn, she ain't have to do that to him. Like, she did that. She literally did that to him. If we're going to be honest, if you think about it, if she never did that, he wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? If she was honest from the jump.
Oh, no, they're going to look at him.
It's going to be looked at as like, oh, he crazy, this, that, and the third. But it's like, is it going to be looked at as why he snapped? Mm-hmm. It's not. You know what I'm saying? I know you saying that because you get what I'm saying, but it's not going to be looked at as like that. It's just going to be looked at as like, oh, he's crazy. Mm-hmm. And it's like, damn, like, maybe I am now, but what she did made me crazy.
It triggers something, yeah.
Every action has a reaction.
And some dudes make that decision like, fuck it, I'm going to jail. Fuck it.
Guess
some dudes do that and then call the goddamn cops themselves. I've seen shit like that where they, hey, X and X County Sheriff Department, yeah, this is me. I'm here with my wife. I killed her. This, that, and the third. I'm here with her. I'm sitting right next to her. Like, I've seen that shit.
I'm sitting right next to her.
I've seen that shit, but I'm saying that information, you doing that pushed him over that edge. Because his whole perception of reality is gone. Is gone.
Guys don't do well with stuff like that.
It's gone. It's gone. Once a dude start believing something and this, that, and the third, that's what reality is for him. Is this is what, you know what I'm saying? You going through this with your lady, that's what it is. And then some dudes get to that point and be like, okay, my girl cheating. That's why you'll have some girls, some dudes, you be talking to them and be like, shit, where your girl at? Yeah, and I ain't worried about that. My girl, she ain't going, because they have that perception of my girl's never going to do this. There's not a doubt in my mind. I would bet my life savings my girl never did that until they go on that phone. That shit gonna tear them the fuck down because their mindset wasn't even thinking about that. Now, there's dudes out here that be thinking that, like,
their girl might be doing stuff and that might not be the case. They're doing that
It don't
themselves,
bother
and that
them.
will fall into what you were saying. That's putting their own insecurities on the girl. So they're driving themselves crazy thinking about that because of what they're doing. But I'm talking the other way around. It's like that shit is wild. You know what I'm saying? A girl say that shit to you or doing things and you just believe everything she say. You worshiping her. You just this shit. My girl ride for me. She down. She loyal. This and that, third. And you find some shit like that out. That shit'll tear a house down. Literally. Literally. That shit is crazy.
Fuck tear, it's burning that motherfucker.
Yeah, that shit is crazy.
Guess
shit is
who
crazy.
going to jail tonight?
Yes, you know what I'm saying? Taking a life is crazy. That taking a life is wrong. No one should do that. But again, I'm not saying he's right for doing that.
But you understand.
But I understand where he probably where his mind probably went to hearing
For
that.
Sure.
Because we don't know what his mindset was prior to hearing that. We don't know. That man could have lost his mama before he heard that shit. So to him, losing his mama, it's like, oh, this is my family. I'm about to put all my all into this. This is everything I got. And then you hear that shit, and then you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is wrong. I just feel like at birth, that should be a law off the gut. That should be a law off the rip. My opinion.
Nah, I ain't disagreeing. I just said I know that there probably be some dudes who wouldn't want to take it.
Touche.
They just keep on. What
Make
have
it law.
doubt in their mind? Just
Make it law.
the bell.
Huh?
You think they would have doubt, but because they know.
Nah,
face
I
the
just
truth,
like
they just,
there's guys like he said, there's guys who ask for it now. But there's other guys who don't even think about it in the sense of like, I don't even second guess it. Like I don't. It's not even a thought in my mind. So I'm thinking for those guys who probably just don't really care to take. Like, nah, I don't really care. But if I have to, I take it. But I don't care to take it. I probably if I have the choice, I wouldn't take it. That's what I'm saying. It's probably dudes who probably wouldn't take it.
Yeah, but if it's something that just comes in, if it just comes up as a thought and you just decide to ask your girl that, then that's sometimes that literally just be a question for your girl. Like you just want to know. Like you're like, okay, boom. I'll be honest. Like with my first, I'll be honest. Like I don't give a fuck. So like with my first child and shit, it was just like at that point, like boom, like I knew. I felt like I knew that you know what I'm saying? My daughter was my daughter, you know what I'm saying? It was just being that young when I had her, I was just like finding that out. A lot of thoughts was going through my head about a lot of shit, like your life about to change, all this other stuff, shit I'm hearing from other people, advice I'm getting from other people about what to expect and stuff. And being that young, it was just like, I used to always see like, might be funny, but like Maury and a bunch of other stuff,
right.
And you hear the DNA test, and it'd be like, shit, like I had the thought before, like, damn, like, is that something you're supposed to ask? Like, do you ask for a DNA test? Do you not ask? Like, this, that, and third. And I remember asking my dad that shit. Like, Dad, am I supposed to get a DNA test? Like, am I supposed to ask? You know what I'm saying? He laughed and shit. And he was just like, his conversation was like, do you have, like, doubts or this, that, and the third? And it was just like, well, nah, I don't have doubts. I don't know. Like, I'm asking. You know what I'm saying? But as I got older, I started understanding why probably dudes do ask for it or this, that, and the third, or situations dudes got in where a DNA test probably would have prevented the situation they got put in.
You asked her?
Oh, yeah, I asked her.
And what she said?
She didn't, like, at that, again, we were young. Mm-hmm. At that point, she took the standpoint of, like, how you said, like, some girls, like, take it as, like, probably disrespectful or whatever, like, this, that, and the third, or what, you don't trust me, you think I'm cheating, or this, that, and the third. But, like, honestly, it was just, like...
You wanted to know?
I didn't know if that was a part of the process of being pregnant. Like, do acts, like, is that something that happens with every pregnancy? Like, I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So I asked with just the thought process of, let me ask.
Let me ask.
Yeah, I'm gonna just ask, like,
so
and then
when she gave you that answer, did y'all go through with it, or you just took it for what it was?
Well, I had to explain that what I'm explaining right now, like of what, like where I was at that point. It was just like, well, I asked because I thought I'm supposed to ask. Like I didn't, you know what I'm saying? When it was a little like when she took it as like disrespectful at that time, me being young, it was just like, oh, like we were happy, we was cool. So it was just like, all right, bet, you know what I'm saying? But then when my daughter got here, like it was just like, oh, well, that gotta be mine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just seeing her from, okay, cool. Like, but again, like it was just, I had that thought, you know what I'm saying? And then with my son, it was more or less like, okay, being honest again.
You asked again?
Yeah. But look though, you know what I'm saying? But look though, be honest, like, so me and my girl got different color hair, right? My girl, since like her real natural color hair, like her getting her hair done and all that, so she'll get it done in other colors, black, this, that, and the third. Her hair is like a sandy brown, like light brown or whatever, naturally. So I didn't never see her natural hair color until I was probably, we 12 years in, like it was a couple years later. It wasn't off the rip. You know what I'm saying? Her hair was black when I first met her. So when he had him years later or whatever, he was born, his hair was that color. Now, boom. Mm-hmm. It's not the fact of
the hair color?
No, the features.
Oh.
It was the hair color, because that threw me off, because my natural thought isn't like, this is my girl's hair color. It was just like, who the fuck blonde hair motherfucker was you talking to? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I came off like that, like, you know what I'm saying? And was it wrong? Probably yes, but that was my mindset seeing it. So it had nothing to really be like, it. In all actuality, it probably had nothing to do with her, but it was just me seeing that, like, damn, what the fuck is the hell? Because then me and my daughter got the same hair color. I have a kid, she get black hair. Her hair at the time, me mentally, her hair is black. So it's like, oh, that makes sense. His hair come out sandy, blonde looking color. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my son looked like albino when he was born. You know what I'm saying? Like the color of his hair, it was real bright. Like it was damn near blonde at the beginning. Like now it's more of what her natural hair, because like a darker sandy brown. Now that he's a little older, he's 7 now. But like then it was like a blonde. Like yeah, and it was just like silky blonde too, because you know baby hair be all moisturized and soft. So then I'm like, yo, who the fuck is this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got some white in me, but my hair thick. Like, I'm like, who the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I was saying that to say, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm laughing and stuff, but like, I said it to say, it be thoughts that go through your head that you can't help.
Right.
Some things, you might see something and your thought might change about anything. You know what I'm saying? So like, if a dude asks that, I don't feel like it should be put too much thought into why the dude's asking that. It's for his own sanity. It's not for you. You know that baby's yours. It's inside of you. I don't know. I'm going off your word. Mm-hmm. And that trust word is a big ass word for me to put into when we talking about a kid. Mm-hmm. Period. Because once we break up, shit, you might not trust me and I might not trust you no more, but we still gotta have a relationship with this damn kid. That trust word ain't got to, so when a woman be like, oh, you don't trust me? My response I feel like any dude's response should be, it don't matter. That ain't got nothing to do with it. Trust ain't got shit to do with it. I'm asking you, this is what I want to do. I'm coming to you and being kind and courteous. I can go do this myself. The baby's here.
Yeah.
You can go to work and I can go get a cotton swab and just do it. I'm being upfront and asking you and having this conversation with you, and you're taking it this way. I should have just went and did it myself. Mm-hmm. And then what if I came back with the results and you didn't know, and now you in here cooking dinner? Wham! You know what I'm saying? Hey, got something for a message. You know what I'm saying? Then what?
He said message.
Then what? I'm being open about it. I'm being open about it. I asked you. I asked you. You wanted to go crazy? All right, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? At that point, shit, I'm going to go do it by myself. Because now your reaction made me feel like you got something to hide. And you might not, I might be 100% the father. 99, whatever it comes out, 99.999, whatever. Like,
a lot of times.
But like, I might be the father, but your reaction to me asking that question
is gonna put my shit right back in the hole.
Oh shit! Well, shit. What I was thinking might be valid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now I really want it. We might have had a conversation about it, and you talked me off from thinking about that because, like I said, emotions are fickle. Your thoughts change constantly. Like that might have just been something that popped in my head. I couldn't get it out. We have a conversation. At the end of the conversation, be like, you know what, babe, you're right. I was bugging. I don't even know why I thought that. You know what I'm saying? But that's based off the conversation. So to jump straight into that bag of, yo, what the?
You don't trust me? You think I'm cheating? Yeah, I do.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And now, nah, fuck that. I want the DNA test now. Like, that's just, to me. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Both them little rascals is mine.
For sure. Albino learning.
Yeah.
That's my boy.
Word up. But that was my thoughts on that. You know what I'm saying?
What we wrapping it up with, man?
What's little 2-part question. What's your fear? What was your fears as a kid? And then what's your fear as an adult? Like, are they the same? Did they change? What's your thoughts on that? Like,
For me, when I was a kid, my fear was sleeping in the dark. And I used to have this like weird sleeping disorder. I don't know what it's called, but I used to sleep, but I used to be able to open my eyes, but never could really like move. I could just open my eyes and I couldn't really move
sleep
my limbs.
paralysis.
Yeah.
Like you feel stuck.
Like I felt stuck. Like I could open my eyes and see everything,
Yeah,
but I
sleep
Can't
paralysis.
move.
I couldn't move.
That happens.
And I had that for a while. So I used to be it used to play on my being scared of the dark because I would wake up at night and be like, "Oh shit!" and I couldn't like move my hands, my feet, get
Yeah, I
up.
know
Like
what
it
you're
used to be
talking
like, and if I did get up, it used to be like a struggle to like force my body to get up. So that was my fear as a kid. But then as I got older, my fear became me not wanting to be much like my dad, as far as like being present to my kids and always being active and, you know what I mean, not really dropping the ball and just always kind of like being transparent with my kids, as far as like if I feel like I'm doing wrong, I should be able to explain that to them so they can understand that as they get older. But other than that, I don't really, I mean, for sure not scared of the dark.
I hope not.
I
hope not. You and your kids being scared at the same time.
And the sleep thing that stopped. But other than that, I think that's still kind of like my fear. Like I just don't want to drop the ball on being a parent. Other than that, I don't really have too many fears as far as like skin, how I look, stuff like that. But yeah, that's still my fear.
Okay.
And I aim to conquer it every day.
That's
About you, Ken?
I can't really recall a fear I had when I was a child, but I know as an adult, my fear is leaving my kids, like passing, leaving them too early, like my parents did me.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's my fear.
So your fear is death.
Too soon.
Too soon.
For my kids, like I want to be able to be the
You
one
want
to
them to be
raise them.
grown and
Yeah, I want them to be grown. Like,
wanna
yes, it's going
experience
to be
the whole
hard.
life situation
Yes,
with
I
them.
want to be. I want
Grandma and
them.
all
Yeah.
that. Gotcha.
Not even if I can't make it to that part. Hopefully, I do. God, but I'm just saying, like, I want to be able to raise them.
Yeah, I feel you.
I don't want no one.
They can
else
have a real relationship with you.
Yes, because
Yeah.
the struggle is so real. Because my parents passed when I was 2, so it's tough. How about you, B?
I say as a kid it was spiders and snakes.
Mm-hmm.
I had a snake chase me when I was younger. Like, but the dude, one of the dudes we
Garden
was with,
snake.
one of the dudes we was with, this shit was as long as this fucking table, dead ass, and it was all black. And my man said it was a water moccasin or whatever. Like I moved to North Carolina when we was younger or whatever like that. We playing hide and seek. Long story short, I'm behind this big ass like oak tree, and I'm hiding behind it. Like I'm talking about, this shit was wide as hell. Like 3 people could stand side to side and be out behind this tree. But I'm standing there, so I'm going to the edge, looking around, see if anybody coming. And I'm looking this way, and then I turn back right, and that motherfucker was like right here, just like hanging from it, like from the branch, and it was just like sitting there looking, but it's swinging, and I'm sitting there like, oh shit, like, but like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just staring at the shit because I didn't know what to do. I'm like, for one, that was my first time ever seeing a snake in person. So like when I see him, I'm like, oh, all I remember was anaconda. You know what I'm saying? Like in my mind, that's how big the snake was. I'm like, oh shit, I'm Ice Cube. I'm about to, this shit about to go down. You feel me? But then like, so like I seen this. It was like not like a twig, but it wasn't like a branch. It was just like a regular stick. It was right there. I grabbed it, and then I just like threw it at it. And when I threw it, it like hit the ground and went under this car that was like right there. So I was just like, oh shit. So I took off. And then when I took off, I went like a little around the street, or like up the street or whatever. Yo, I'm talking to my mans, and then this shit just comes down the street like this mad fast, like just going. Like, and when I took off and he took off, he went that way, I went this way, but I turned around, that shit behind me. That shit I don't know when it stopped chasing me, but that I got home and I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Mom, oh, what's wrong? I'm like, shit, don't open the door. They're trying to kill me. Like, don't open the door, please. Like, word up. We stay in the back of the neighborhood. Like, I ran from the front to the back, nonstop, ran that bit. But I would say snakes and spiders, and as an adult, I would say probably
Snakes and spiders.
spiders. spiders for sure. Yes, I haven't seen a snake since, and I'm probably still scared of it, but I haven't seen one since. But spiders for sure. I've learned that from the other day. I'm definitely still scared of spiders, and going bald.
Going bald?
Going bald. It's in the family. You feel what I'm saying?
Damn.
It's there. It's in the family. You know what I'm saying? So like I would say that that's a big fear of mine. But that's definitely a big fear of mine. Other than that, I don't really have too many. But that definitely for sure.
I feel that.
For sure. But that's all I had. You heard?
You dig. Like, subscribe, comment. Again, as we said, we got 3 of them bangs out. Them bangers.
Another one coming
Come
Thursday.
grow with us, man. It'll help, man. Leave a comment. Tell your grandmother, your mother, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your girlfriend, your side chick,
Oh
your
my
dog.
goodness. Oh,